Weird. Fuckers! Oh, you motherfuckers. You guys have no idea why I'm laughing so hard. I think, to be fair, that doesn't look like a real pallet anyway, so if it was, that would be funny. Okay, so I started this morning's journey with the full intention of telling you about a beautiful moment. And it was an absolutely beautiful moment, and I'll describe it to you shortly. But the reason why I'm laughing so hard is because if that was a full normal size pallet, the beautiful moment I'm about to tell you about would have been completely undermined. So let's get back on track. So yeah, a genuinely beautiful moment. I won't do time scales, just you'll have to imagine that all of this is going on at the same sort of time, and there's no real time frame to it. There's no real linear time frame to it. It's just things just sort of came together. Fuck me. Took a while to grow that. So this beautiful moment. Well, basically, guy got in touch through eBay. Said, I like your engine. Your piece of shit, £100. What's left over of an awesome race engine. Are you nodding me, or are you just generally looking down at your shit? He got in contact and said, you know, I had it up for collection only, £100 collection only, and he got in touch and he said, could you possibly deliver it? I live in the arse end of nowhere. And I said, as it happens, I will have a look at the options. So I got to chatting to him. Transpired he runs a race team. Or he's the I think Sean is the racer, and I think Moto Mart, or whatever his name is the dad. It's either that way around or the other way around. I'm not entirely sure. And it turns out they run a race. So it's a single-seater race car with a 636 engine in it, Kawasaki 636. And I happen to have a J2 engine. They are largely speaking the same. There are differences. I don't fully know all of the differences, but what I do know is that gearboxes can be swapped out, and what do you call them? The clutch and the clutch basket are a little bit different sized, and that's it really. As far as I know, that's the only differences. There may well be other differences. I certainly know that everything is very similarly matched. Right. So I mentioned this to him and said, well look, if you're interested in the extra engine, even though it's not exactly what you want, I'll do your deal. And the reason why I did that was because here's the beautiful symmetry thing. The beautiful moment is building up as well. So because I've got basically two engines on a half-size pallet in my garage, which I can't really put anything on top of, and they're taking up space. They've been taking up space fucking ages, even though, I've only just moved there, but, even before that they were taking up space in their respective fashions. And the reason why I want to clear that space is so that I can get the XT out to work on the XT, because a friend of mine has offered to come and help me with it. So I want to clear that space out. Now, I hadn't really thought about this, and I'm fucking busy at the moment, and my view was we'll sort out the sort of money side of it and the actual bits and pieces a bit on Friday, and then I'll go and fucking find a pallet, and then we'll get sorted out and do it next Friday, blah blah blah. In conjunction with all of this, obviously I do a day job, and one of the guys at the day job has been going through the wars a bit. You know, he's in a bit of dire straits at the moment, a bit personal, and I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate me talking about it in front of 256 people, or whatever it is. I just happen to like the number 256. He's, you know, in proper dire straits, and he's literally got fuck all money in his account. But he does have a car, and it's only like, you know, a few miles, 7 miles, 8 miles away from my workplace. Keep that in mind. So then, some point in the week, massive, great big fucking pallet turns up. Anyway, so this fucking pallet turns up with £200 worth of cardboard boxes on it, and it's in everybody's way. Everybody's moaning about it, and they're meant to put signs on it to say that it will be being dealt with shortly, etc, etc, etc. And it just suddenly dawned on me that I could take that pallet, but I can't get it on the bike. So I could stick it in an Uber. Yeah, it's going to cost me 20 quid. I've already said to these guys who want the engines, plural, I've already said 300 quid. And they didn't haggle over that price, which is great. 300 quid for both engines, and I'll deliver it as well. And they haven't haggled over the price, which is great, because it means I can just say to them, can you just buy it now on the £300 engine? You know, I don't have to dick around with the fucking eBay posting, listings, ads, whatever. eBay don't like the word advert, so I try and use it as much as possible. So I suddenly realised that, you know, if this geezer is totally skint, but he's got a car, I thought, fuck it, I'll give him the 20 quid I would have given Uber. So I'll go and approach the chap who's responsible for the pallet turning up in the fucking main hallway, being moaned at because it's a fire hazard and everything else. You know, it's just in people's ways. No one really gives a fuck about fire hazards. They just want to exert their control and have something dealt with. But that's just human beings for you. Oh, we can make that, and we can't make that. Oh, I thought that was blue flashy. He's not blue flashy. So I say, all right, mate, how's it going? Do you want to lose the pallet? And he's like, oh, thank fuck for that. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was just trying to figure out what to do with the fucking thing. You come along, take it off my hands. That's great. I'm like, yeah, no worries. Cheers, mate. Then I approach our young lad in the office and say, right, I've got this pallet. I'll give you 20 quid if you bring it back to my my house. Got to be before XYZ. It's like, shit, yeah. Fucking bite my arm off. Because that 20 quid is the difference between his defaulting on his insurance payment for his car or having insurance for another month. So he's quite grateful for that situation. So you've got Andre is grateful, also, no names. You've got the Russian, the fat Russian fag who's grateful for me taking away something that's rubbish that he hasn't got to pay to dispose of. Chap in the office is grateful because he gets, thank you. Chap in the office is grateful because he's got insurance for another month when he was really struggling to find that last few quid. I'm grateful because I've now got the pallet and I've got it in time for Friday, and my customer wants to give me the money this morning, which means I can arrange the delivery now. I can arrange the delivery now. Oh, that's tight. Should never be tight. I've got a space in the garage in time for my friend coming over on Saturday, which will allow me to get the fucking XT out from underneath its shackles. And the money that I get from this job will be in the order of about 200 quid. I ain't going to make that much money because I'm going to have to lose some ratchet straps as well, of which I have too many. God, you're delicious. So what was the other final coup de grace, right? Oh yeah, the other final coup de grace is not the right word, I know that. The final icing on the cake is the money that I get from this is going to be just enough to buy my mum that refurbished PC we were talking about this week. So all in all, I'm failing to see any negatives, and believe me, finding negatives is one thing I'm really good at. So yeah, a beautiful moment, all of which was entirely undermined by the fact that there's a fucking pallet at the end of my road I could have just gone picked up. But you know, that wouldn't have helped anyone out. So I'm rather pleased about all of that. I do feel sorry for the guy in the office though. He's I absolutely won't tell you about what's going on in his life, but fuck me, it's like go on, just think it, whatever it is you're thinking, have another thought, choose something else, another thought, yeah, that's it, and now just add them together, that's it, and then get yourself a multiplier. Multiply it by having no money. That's obviously a one. I've told you, so you know about that. And yeah, now once you've done that, divide it by 1, because you've got to have at least something that removes something in there. Good, yep. And now poo on it. That's pretty much where he's at. No, I don't like doing it. I do it on the VFR, but I'm not doing that on someone else's bike. Getting it wrong there it's more than it's worth. I actually don't know how that accident would go down. If you did, you know, if you got too close to a curb that with a 90-degree proper sharp edge on it, don't say sharp, you know what I mean, proper hard 90-degree edge on it, what would happen? You wouldn't necessarily ride up on it, would you? I don't know, I can't work it out. I know something bad will happen. I don't mind that it says soft verges is fine. All you're going to do is slip and slide around a bit and fuck it up. Even having this post over here is a bit of a dick, but can live with that. Just getting soft verges. It's all nice and easy to cope with. Soft verges. But add one of those fucking curbs in. Yeah. Just not fun.